from India and a very happy International Women's Day. Today, we are
Thank
here to celebrate this day with Skill Arbitrage, which is an initiative by Addictive Learning Technology Private Limited, the driving force behind one of India's most prominent and trustworthy online edtech brands. This initiative is designed to address the evolving landscape of global businesses in a post COVID era where the remote work is swiftly becoming the new norm. This paradigm shift empowers companies to tap into talent pools from anywhere in the world, fostering a truly global workforce. We celebrate International Women's Day to honor women for their achievements, irrespective of divisions like nationality, ethnicity, language, culture, economics, or politics. Over the years, this day has become it has taken on a new global significance, fostering unity among women in both developed and developing nations. I would like to now welcome my dear colleague, Ms. Devyanshi, to introduce our esteemed guests.
Thank you, Divya ma'am. And hello, speakers. I wish you all a very, very happy International Women's Day. Firstly, I would like to introduce you all to Dr. Sandya Advani, who is the founder and principal consultant at POSH Systems. When she joined Skill Arbitrage 3 years back, she also wanted to upskill herself. And at this date, she has 53 plus clients and is involved with consulting business with 30 plus companies as an external member. Next, I would like to talk about Ms. Veena Prabhu. She has more than 2 decades of experience as HR consultant and POSH specialist. During COVID, she decided to work from home, but for 3 years, she could not find the right opportunity. That is when she decided to join Skill Arbitrage. Currently, she is working on multiple HR and POSH projects. Some of her projects that run across South India have multiple branches with the strength of more than 1900 employees. She also acts as an ICC member for several companies. And now, I'd request Divya ma'am to introduce our last guest for today.
My dear friend and mentor, Priyanka Karwa, who is also my boss lady. For the past 8 years, she has not only been seamlessly managing her professional duties, but also taking care of her family, which includes two hyperactive children. From tutoring school kids to working part time and finally peaking in her professional career as director and co founder of our company LawSikho, she has proved that hard work goes a long way. And the idea of hiring work from home mothers works wonders. Today, she heads our placement and freelancing team, which comprises 70 plus people and delivers success to over 1,600 students every month. Now, I would like to go to our speakers, esteemed speakers. First, Dr. Sandhya ma'am, to tell us about her story and her thoughts about the understanding of this topic today that we have picked up, the significance of economic independence for equality and inclusivity, the theme of the day, International Women's Day. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, Divya. Let me share some numbers with you. Globally, for every 102 men, there are 100 women. So you could say that it's almost 50-50 ratio. Men and women are almost, 50% each. Yet the presence of women in the workforce is very limited. In 2021 to 22, the percentage of women in the workforce from the age group of 15 to 59 was just 29.4%, like you could say almost percent. And for men, it was 80.7. That means almost 81%. So men were 81%, women were just 30%. Now let us look at two questions. Why is it that we need women in the workforce? What is it that they bring to the table? And the second is, why do women need to be financially independent? I'm a very strong believer of that. Now, as far as the first question is concerned, women bring with them many advantages. They are more organized, detail oriented, they are good at multitasking, there's an increased diversity of thought, they have improved decision making and problem solving capabilities, better customer service skills, they bring in creative approaches to work. And all these things together bring in a lot of diversity. So companies with more gender diversity tend to outperform those that do not have that. Now, the second question, why do women need to be financially independent? One is for better mental health and self confidence. It brings in a sense of security, responsibility, and self confidence. So, women who are not financially independent, if they need something, they aspire for something, they are totally dependent on their family members, their spouses. If their spouses don't approve of it, well, too bad, you don't get it. However, if you're financially independent, yes, you can fulfill your dreams and aspirations and do what you think is right. The second reason would be to deal with emergencies. Today, your spouse has a job, tomorrow, he may not have a job. If you are also financially independent, you can bring in a second source of income to the household, have a better standard for your families, better education for your children, better lifestyle for your families. Then the third reason would be to not be dependent on anybody else. A lot of women face domestic violence in their marriages. And the reason they are stuck is because they are not financially independent. They have to keep suffering and just go on for the sake of their kids, for the sake of financial independence, for the sake of, for the sake of money. Then another reason, the rising cost of inflation. As you know, prices keep increasing and all, and one person's income is not adequate to support a good lifestyle for the family. So it's always advisable to have both the spouses working, both are contributing equally towards the family. A woman who is financially independent receives a lot of respect. She has a social status. She has a say in what things happen. So I think for all these reasons, it's very, very important for a woman to be financially independent.
So, thank you, ma'am, for such power-packed, statistical analysis-based answer. I am really mesmerized with the way you have explained this particular empowerment thing. I also would love to understand later, maybe, about gender equality and gender mainstreaming as well. But right now, due to crunch of time, I'm really sorry, ma'am, I'm cutting you short, and I would love to welcome our next guest to put her views forward, Mrs. Veena Prabhu. We would love to hear your views about this particular topic. What do you think? How do you see that we have to invest in women and accelerate progress? Mrs. Veena Prabhu, please.
Veena, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Firstly, let me wish you all a very happy International Women's Day. Okay. And then investing in women, like this is gender equality. I think this subject it comes under. I feel this. So invest in women or men. I don't think that parity should exist anymore. I think we have lost in this course of in the generation. Actually, I have two daughters to give you a example, and did not differentiate. I spent quite a number of lakhs to bring up my daughter for her education and stuff. So there, I want to make her independent, economically independent. For me, I don't want to invest her in her anything except education. That is knowledge. So that knowledge will help her to grow further. So this I have started in my own house, and I have in the whole family also. I'm cultivating this habit, and then if given an opportunity, yes, I want to take this lead to next level, of course. So this is personally this is my question I have addressed. Hope this satisfied the answer.
Ma'am,
The
this
second,
beautifully satisfied our question because you are bringing in women empowerment from home itself. It's amazing.
yes.
Please, ma'am.
Yes, and of course, I invest myself every even recently last month also I have invested myself to learn something, because we have to unlearn, learn, unlearn, learn. I mean, there is no we cannot pause for our learning. So that I believe in that, and I keep learning. My husband is very supportive in that way. So that is a number two, and gender. And then second question, I'm sorry,
Ma'am, it was
financial
about
independence.
equality. Yes, it was about equality and inclusivity, which you already have beautifully answered in your story.
Yeah, financial independence. Yeah, more than financial independence, when a woman starts earning, no, her confidence will go up. that automatically the finance will fall in her journey, but her confidence levels will boost, and then and then she feels whatever she's thinking right, she'll start taking right decisions naturally. It comes naturally. Naturally we'll start taking right decisions, and then we'll be respected in the family, and even within our family, the nuclear family and the extended families also, I feel. And also, here I really want to appreciate skill arbitrage. Whatever I am today, again, Priyanka, I really want to owe this my success to skill arbitrage. So where I came, as you are aware, again I'm reiterating, I'm very sorry for that. From zero to whatever I am today, even in the morning I was sharing this with my husband. It's you people who's equipped me to reach this level of success. If I look back in a span of a year, my achievement is amazing. This I feel more confident. Money is coming in. My confidence levels are so high. And now POSH, I'm not only training on English language, in regional languages, Telugu, all the South Indian languages, I'm very good at it, and then my clients are very happy about that. Like that's another one more thing I want to add on. So I feel, yes, more than finance, so many ways you'll start thinking differently. And then if you are respected, no, I think all the women are capable of multifaceted knowledge. Actually, so much we have. Actually, we can think. I don't want to equality about women. I don't want to talk, but we are. God has given equal knowledge. God has given equal intelligence to think and push ourselves, and then pursue ourselves in our own way and make a difference. And of course, this definitely come into the economics also. In overall Indian economy also, world economy also, it will help us. This
So
is
truly
my
said, ma'am. Right or wrong, I don't know, but right and wrong it becomes once you start getting that particular equality status. So that brings us to our next guest, Miss Pooja Jain. I would request Devyanshi, my dear colleague, to introduce her, and then we'll ask her the question. Please introduce Devyanshi.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, Miss Pooja Jain is an engineer by profession who has worked in data extensively, after which she took a maternity break. After a sabbatical, she joined Skill Arbitrage in order to upskill herself. And that marks her return to the workforce as a business analyst, technical documentation specialist, and a virtual assistant. Thank you. Divya ma'am, you may take the event.
Welcome, Pooja ji. And we have the same question for you also. And apologies from my side that we missed your introduction then. Please accept our apologies, and please let's move ahead and answer this question. I would love to understand from your perspective of being a mom and engineer, how has it changed your world?
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to wish a happy International Women's Day to everyone. I'm slightly having a bad throat, and I hope I'm audible clearly.
Yes, you are. Please go
Yeah.
ahead now.
Wishing you all a very happy International Women's Day. I have a slight issue with my voice because of a bad throat, and I apologize for the same. So I would like to say it's very important for all the women to be financially independent. So I had been on a career break for almost 5 years after my daughter was born, and I've seen the difference in myself. The difference, I mean, when I was completely at home, I was doing nothing. Every part of my life was getting impacted, starting from my mental well-being to my physical well-being. I had a lot of health issues as well when I had stopped working. And so when once you are financially and economically independent, I believe you can take better care of your family. You are more confident to face everything in your life. And plus, the most important aspect is that you're respected by everyone. So the progress that I've seen in myself in the last 1 year is like immense progress. First of all, I've upskilled myself via learning via the skill arbitrage courses, And I completely owe my success to Skill Arbitrage and especially to Priyanka ma'am. She has motivated me so much in the past 1 year. And I had never expected myself to be here where I am today. Like, I started with a zero freelancing career, and I have really established a very good portfolio over the different freelancing platforms. And as an icing on the cake, my work had been appreciated so much that I've got a full-time remote job opportunity as well. So this gives me so much of confidence. Like, every day when I get up, I feel confident to face all the challenges that I have, and I'm in a position to take better care of my family in all the ways. I'm able to multitask. So when you talk about women equality, I would say that women are more equipped to multitask in all the ways than men can do. So, in fact, I'm able to pursue my hobbies as well in a much, but I get time to pursue my hobbies, I get time to do my work, and plus, I'm able to take care of my family and manage my toddler more effectively because of the freelancing work that I'm doing from the past 1 year. So, I would say it is very important for every woman to be financially independent, because the kind of respect that she gets from the entire family changes, the way the society look at you changes completely, and which is such a big motivation factor. In fact, you are able to manage all your other responsibilities very nicely when you are working, I believe. Yeah, so
What a beautiful, absolutely beautiful message by you, that yes, you feel confident and people start respecting you. Uh, Even if it is not the whole society, but whosoever knows the story of you, the way that you have overcome your challenges, it helps. Now, I would like to invite our very own Priyanka Karwa ma'am, and I would love to understand her views on the talk of the day, obviously, the significance of economic independence for equality and inclusivity. Priyanka ma'am?
I think she's disconnected because of a bad internet. We can move ahead with someone.
She's back.
She's just back. She's just back.
We would love to hear
Yeah.
your story. I have already asked about the question.
Yes, Ravi.
Now we want to hear your answer. Please go.
All right. So, according to actually, it empowers individuals, females, women's like us to, with the means to make an autonomous decision, access to the various opportunities, and very less reliance on others, which is very important, because at the end of the day, if a woman needs something, they really need to be reliant on someone else if they are not doing anything, if they are not earning, if they are not economically stable. And the best part of it is it enables equitable participation in society, at your home, and that's the most important thing. For me, if I say, like, there are certain, am I audible? Yeah. So there are certain personal things. If I say that there are certain goals that I and my husband thought that we'll fulfill, but I would say that by working together, by contributing to each other, we are able to fulfill our dreams. We are able to fulfill our goals quickly than it could have been just by one person doing the same thing. So I think that's very, very important part. Every woman should take a step ahead and start thinking about themselves. The the satisfaction, the I would everyone has stressed on a point where they mention how society look at them. That is, and again, another thing which gives you a different level of satisfaction altogether, and that's the most important part of it. Yeah, so I feel very, very motivated when I see that in my mom's family, like at my father's family, we are so many sisters, but I am the only one who is doing something coming from a core Marwadi family. It was very difficult, but I think the parents, what they taught, how they like embedded the things in us, that was very, very important. It has changed the life, the way people look at us, the way the respect which we get from others because of this. It's of a different level altogether.
So you are not only bringing in change in LawSikho, you are bringing in change in a whole community, and that is something which will be there for generations. And as it is said, one woman can bring in a lot of change in and around the family and society setup as well. So now let's move on to our next question to our very dear Dr. Sandhya ma'am. Ma'am, we would love to hear your thought or your understanding about, in case if you're not this super independent and this superwoman and there was no economic independence, what would have been the scenario? What do you think would have happened? Would you have been in the same space that you are? Or after this, the kind of change you had once you became economically empowered? Please enlighten our listeners, viewers, and everyone.
Sure. So I'd like to share a personal story. Now, this happened in the early 90s. I was highly educated. I had a degree in Ayurveda, that is a doctor's degree. I had done my LLB, qualified, registered as a lawyer in the Bar Council. But then I was at home because I was married and I had two small girls. My husband was working. And at that point of time, I wanted to buy books on childcraft, you see, for my daughters. The books were really good. They had lots of pictures, and they cost 6,500. Now this is early 90s. So I discussed with my husband, like, I'd like to buy these books and everything. He said, no, not required. They are too small. You don't need to buy it, you know. And that's when it hit home. I realized how important it is to be financially independent, have one's own money. Today things are okay, tomorrow things may go wrong. You see, now if you see the marriages in the past, people continued with their marriages despite all kinds of issues, but now the tolerance levels are different. I mean, if things don't work, fine, people are ready to move on. Now if you're in that kind of a state, will you be able to manage yourself? That is the question. I did have go through that kind of a stage where I separated out after 13 years of marriage. I was out. I left. I decided to leave myself. I had three kids. I had no source of income. Whatever effort I had taken earlier, I mean, I left with nothing in hand. I started from scratch. And that is one of the reasons why it has made me such a strong believer in, in following this norm that, it is very, very important to be financially independent. There's a lot of disturbance coming. If supposing there's somebody, I think his mic is on. Pooja, is it your mic on by any chance? Okay. Yeah. And then apart from this, now financial independence, if a woman has, she has the freedom to make choices. She has the ability to support her family whenever she wants to. She can provide better education, better facilities, better lifestyle. If she wants to support her parents, she can do that. If there is a job loss, the spouse loses their job, or there is some kind of illness, or there is an emergency, there is an accident, anything, she can also provide for her future. So all this is very, very important if a woman is financially independent. Now, without money, a woman is totally helpless. When I say without money, means there's no financial support from anywhere. Friends can support for a little while, but after that, you have to rely on yourself, right? So, have you seen the impact of a stone falling or a pebble falling in a still pond? What happens? There are ripples, and the ripples spread outward. That is the impact. A woman who is financially independent will cause ripples in her family, in her society, in her nation, in the world.
Oh, ma'am, thank you for bringing that ripple effect over here as well. It is a very touching, not only story, but the kind of challenge that you have shared with us. It's almost, I've seen it in almost 80 to 90% women around me, because in and around our society, almost 90% women are dependent and not independent. And something which does not give them that empowering feeling, probably the feeling that you're talking about. Keeping that in mind, I would love to move forward and talk to Veena Prabhu ma'am, and would love to understand her perspective as well. How does she see herself if this economic empowerment or financial stability was not her own, but she was also dependent, like the way, the passionate way she was talking about her independence. We would love to hear more about it. And what are your views in case if you're not this independent, ma'am? Please go ahead. Veena ma'am, you are on mute.
Yeah. Thanks for asking this question. I have to go back to my childhood. From childhood, I had a dream of, studying well, and then I want to make not more than money. I was behind making some name. Whatever I take up now, I want to be very good at that. So that was the passion from those days I was coming from. But I was from a remote village. I didn't had any opportunity there to perform myself. But I outperformed in my school days. So then we moved to the city. So I was from the regional language expert. That means Telugu medium girl. Here, after reaching this language was a barrier for me, and then I had a lot of difficulties, overcoming that. I somehow managed with the basic marks with my graduation and started working as a XYZ roles and all. Then I did my masters and all. It went on. But I was very passionate from the day one that kuch to kuch karna hai. Kuch to kuch karna hai. Not for me. I want to show my daughters, see, your mother is like this. I am only like this. You should be much more than. By benchmark से इधर ऊपर करना है. So I want to set an example. They should not look at me like whatever I am today. So, but my career graph was very good. But during the COVID, for various reasons, I think so many people would have affected. I am also one among that. So that break, I started enjoying. I started cherishing by watching series and cooking, all those things. And then suddenly, we were shifting the house. At that time, I just showed my daughter saying that, hey, see, this is my mask card. See, I was so and so. I scored. I was a top or something like that. She said, throw it in the dustbin. She said, literally put it in the dustbin, Mama. Hey, why are you telling? This is my, I have scored well and karke. Kya kar rahi hai tum? What are you doing? You are a bloody housewife. Go, and whatever the knowledge you have, go work. So there you have to prove yourself. What are you doing? She was the first one who motivated me during where I was on my lazy days actually. So then I still took relaxed only, but there was one situation came in. I was forced to be very serious, and then I started upskilling myself, and then I had a trouble, getting a job. I had a lot of problems to secure a small freelancing opportunity. I really was not aware what's wrong with me. I have so many experience. I had a good HR consultant experience, strategic experience. I have end to end complete. Kuch bhi pucho I had. But why am I not? I had this doubt, self doubt. I started getting. I started becoming inferior, mental health. Like Pooja, I think Pooja showed, no, that mental trauma I started getting. This menopause was hitting me. All those things was showing extremes on me. कुछ भी इतना पेन हुआ तो इतना ज्यादा I used to get affected. So then I felt, no, something is wrong. I have to address that. What is that I have to do? Okay, then I was scrolling, and then I was just every day I was started doing some research and all. In that time, I got to know about the skill arbitrage. Exactly this 11th March was my birthday. So that day was the boot camp. I self-gifted myself that course. So, it was the best ever gift ever I gifted myself today, whatever I am. So, skill arbitrage taught me, I mean, of course, the old wine in a new bottle. How to put yourself, how to transform yourself, and then, go achieve. I mean, you can achieve what you wanted. So, like, of course, I suffered. It was not an easy cake. Of course, I used to spend a lot of time. My husband used to yell at me, you are wasting too much of time on the internet. कुछ तो आपको पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है, but फिर भी तुम इतना काम कर रही हो इंटरनेट में, it is not good. I mean, it's not good करके. But I said, no, Prabhu, I will show you what I am. Give me some time. I will show you करके I was doing. So finally, in the month of June, I was irritating Priya. I was irritating everyone at skill arbitrage. I don't know who have. I think Nobody can tell me Veena has not reached out. I've reached out to everyone to get me. I mean, why the client is not responding? Why I was correct? No, where did I go wrong? What did went wrong? I was I was in the correction mode. Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong? But every one of us helped me, and then I corrected one by one, one by one. No, everything I started corrected. Then I cracked the deal with an international client. Amazing client, amazing project. That's all. Then I started getting only multinational clients. Single project, POSH project आ गया मुझे. Then today I am getting. Today I have around 4 5 projects I am working on, and then really more than 10 to 12 hours approximately I work. I start my day around 6:30, and then I end my day around 10:30, between 9:45, 9:10, 10:30. I don't have time for cooking also nowadays. I hate to cook. I hate to hire cook. If I cook 2 days once I cook, I hate to stand in front of the gas stove. Priyanka knows about that. I love to, because if I am in front of laptop, I see I'll be researching something, I'll be learning something, something. But I love that. I don't get any aching problem. But when I start cooking, I get all kinds of aches. So
Ma'am, what a beautiful story of yours of perseverance, seriously, that you wanted to do and show it to the world and your family. You have done it. And it's
yes,
commendable. Hats off to you that you started and you are doing this. And thank you so much for sharing that particular beautiful story. And it's an amazing experience to share. And I must
you.
tell you here, we have a birthday girl with us, Dr. Sandhya ma'am. She has her
Okay.
birthday today, and yours is on 11th. So thank you for sharing your beautiful time with us today when you should be celebrating it with the family. That's another achievement which we feel that we have this kind of connection with our seniors, with our learners, with everyone around us. So, keeping that in mind, let's move forward and ask Pooja what was her experience? How does she think that economic independence has brought in a new power in the same, like ma'am said, old wine in the new bottle? How did it work for you?
First of all, I would like to say that this question is very close to my heart because I was completely financially, I was dependent on my husband. I had worked with Reliance Industries till 2019, which was almost 4 years, and post which I had my daughter. So I had taken a career break for around 4.5 years. I was on a career break. So during that phase, at the young age of 31 years, I got arthritis. And it was very shocking because arthritis is something which only comes at, above 60 or something. Young people usually don't get it. And doctors had raised up their hands that there's no treatment to this. Means they said that only painkillers, you have to stay alive on painkillers. And my condition was so bad that if I had to move from one room to the other room, if I would move like 3 to 4 times, my back pain and my leg pains would start. It was like very, very bad. And I switched to Ayurvedic treatment. I was undergoing that treatment. But somewhere, even my doctor told me that more than a physical problem, this is more of a psychological problem that you have. Okay, it is 50% to 60% physical, but the rest of 40% is something psychological. And if you can handle the psychological aspect of it, maybe you'll be able to completely reverse the arthritis. That's what my doctor told me. And all the allopathic doctors had said that it cannot be reversed. You have to be on strong painkillers for the rest of your complete life. And the biggest part is that I've almost 95% reversed it. And I would say, along with the treatment, the second thing which I understood is I was missing my work terribly from inside. So when I was dependent on my husband and his family for all my needs because I was not working. And secondly, what was happening was I have always been a person, like I have been an engineer by profession. And so I was a very a person who would work like almost for more than 9 to 10 hours a day, and spend some time with family. That would be my regular schedule. And going on a career break was like completely no work at all other than taking care of the daughter. Of course, I was very happy doing that, but I was missing something my work so much that I understood that maybe my arthritis is because of the work which I'm missing. And then when I was a little better on my arthritis, but still I had, like 40% arthritis was still there when I started with skill arbitrage course. So the first reason for joining, for getting back to work was of course my medical condition. And second thing was I started feeling getting disrespected. So even I am from a core Marwadi Jain family, wherein so they didn't want their daughter-in-law to work further. So no matter how talented she is, I was expected to be at home and not do a full-time office job. So this thing was something like which was really bothering me so much. I started feeling getting disrespected by my own family, and that is the point that I decided, no, I have to start something. I don't want my daughter to see all this, because I would believe that a mother, a daughter is a true reflection of a mother, because she is seeing a daughter, a young daughter is always seeing her mother, and she tries to follow her in all the ways, whatever she's doing. If she's doing something, she will, in her play mode also, the daughter will replicate the same thing when she's playing. So I want my daughter to be very strong, very confident, and never to feel weak in life. So I decided, no, I'm going to switch back to my work, and I'll be able to handle everything. And that is the point when I started my courses with skill arbitrage. And I, along with my hard work, I had also received a lot of support from the entire team of skill arbitrage. And I keep telling this again and again to Priyanka ma'am that I owe my complete success to them. Within the first 6 months, I secured almost 10 to 15 clients internationally and from India, both. And like there was an immense flooding of projects, and I was not able to handle it. Then I started hiring people. I got a couple of junior associates aligned with me to get my clientele work done. So all these clients are well-established clients from US, UK, Australia, and a couple of them from India. And I started spending 3 to 4 hours daily on my work, and my clients have been so much happy with my work that almost 3 to 4 clients have offered me full-time opportunities, but I was not ready to take it. And finally I got one opportunity, a full-time opportunity now, and my client is ready to listen to my conditions. He's ready to give me an remote offer, so he's just ready to listen to whatever I say. Because so I feel like it is very important to be economically independent. And my story is a true reflection, because something which the doctor said that cannot be reversed, I reversed it almost completely. Just with my getting back to my work helped me to reverse this. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations first for reversing that 95%. It's a big success with the help of whatever medication, but you did it yourself. That was your sheer will. Now I'll have to move forward to our lovely, lovely boss lady and ask her perspective about the economic independence. Why is it very much needed? And what does she think if it was not there with her? What would she have been doing? Is what she has to share today. To you. Priyanka ma'am, you're there.
Without economic independence, my existence would be constrained by limited choices and autonomy. Um, because as per the leading to to a dependency on the systems, or for our survival and opportunities, it wouldn't have been workable. Over here I would like to share something which I personally believe, and what is making me do hard work every day. Few years back I decided that, first, when I got married, I decided that I just told one thing to my dad, that I don't want to get married to a person or a family where I'm not allowed to do anything, whether family is at whatever stage, but I want a husband who should allow me to work. That was my first thing which I told him. That's that only, I think today on this I'm telling, which is like not known to anyone. It was just between me and my father. And because I believed in one thing, that when your parents have given you equal education, they have spent on you the same, like how they do with a male member of your family. They are giving you equal opportunities, they are giving you equal education, they are spending equally on you. At the end of the day, what do you think? I want a man with very good financial backup, want a husband who can take me on a ride in his car. Is this something which a woman should think? According to me, I would say, if you can't uh, be on the same track, like what we say, that if men and women both are there, they have to work, like they are two tracks of the family, then why only male has to take all the responsibility? You need to find someone who need to give you that autonomy and the freedom, what you want to do for your future. And that is something which is going to help you both achieve the goals, achieve the dreams, and live life in a different way altogether. So that is something which I believed. And if I was not allowed, I would say I could have gone into depression, which happened sometime. And before I even delivered my baby, I knew that I can't do what I'm doing currently. I can't go out of my home. I started planning that after I delivered the baby, what would I do? I started planning after my 4 month of pregnancy, that once I deliver the baby after 3 months, what I will plan. I started reaching out to people. I would need a remote job. I started connecting with the people. I did all those stuff before I reached to that stage. Similarly, I am one of the believer who feels that I will retire at the age of 45 or 50. Why I believe it? Because I started investing at the age of 16 when I started earning first time. Whether at that time I used to earn 2000 rupees by spending 3 hours when I was 16 years of age. And I used to keep 500 rupees every month on side in the RD, in FD, every year investing something in gold. Until today I do that. My goal is by 45 or 50 I should retire with a wealth, so that I can then enjoy and do something for the society. I'm not worried whether, if I'm not earning, whether I'm not spending my time on my work, will I be able to enjoy my life, or will I be able to contribute to the nation? Because at the end of the day, if just earning for yourself doesn't work, you need to also have a goal, what you want to give back to the society. So that is something, that's the goal. I hope I achieve that. I hope I will be able to retire at 45 or max by 50 and give my time and give whatever I'm trying to make for the nation or the organization. I should be able to do. And that was not possible. Those things are not possible without the economic independence. I can't ask my husband to pay this much amount to certain NGO, right? That's my goal. That's not his goal. So I think that is something which is very important.
What a beautiful and noble thought that you are still thinking about contributing to the society. First, you want it for yourself, and that, I think, that should be the best way to plan it. A beautiful thought, and really, really touched my heart. And I'm right now feeling what all should I add on here, but I'll keep my thoughts to myself and move to Dr. Sandhya ma'am, and would like to ask her about her thoughts and her wisdom nuggets for our learners, as in how should they plan their future ahead, and how should they make sure and try and make sure that they are economically independent and not dependent on anyone, either their own family or in the married family. What kind of plans do you suggest? We would love to hear from you, ma'am.
Thanks, Divya. When we use the term financial independence, does it mean only earning well, having money? Not necessarily. So, financial independence means, yes, earning well, having control over your finances, managing them wisely, and having means to support yourself without having to depend or rely on anybody else. My suggestion would be, take time to learn about personal finance. As Priyanka started doing, start investing early. That will get you the benefit of the power of compounding, right? Ensure that you have a term assurance, ensure you have mediclaim for the entire family. If ever there is a crisis, that is taken care of. You don't have to worry, because the insurance company will pay for it. Now, very recently, I was reading a book by Ankur Warikoo, Make Epic Money, right? And it was pretty interesting. Now, he talked about a formula 50, 30, 20. Whatever you're earning, 50% will go towards the basics, 30% will go towards what you are desiring, a new dress, a new phone, whatever you're desiring, and 20% will go towards your saving. Whether you like it or not, it has to go in this particular manner. If you can do more of saving, brilliant. Now, what happens is this 20% that is there, you keep it aside for an emergency fund, some part of it you invest. Now, say for example, you get a raise. Now, are you going to increase your standard of living? What are you going to do? So now the ratio of separation will be saving 50%, 30% for what you desire, and 20% towards the basics, right? So it's also advisable to do passive investing, set up SIPs. So every month the money is getting debited. I have a lot of SIPs going on, beg, borrow, steal. I have to see that I make that much money and my investments go through, right? So you have, when you have, it's a goal that you have this installment that is going to go through. You have to ensure that you're doing well and you're able to provide for it, right? So keep track of your investments, try and grow your savings, nurture your savings like how you nurture a plant, and soon you will have a money tree, right? So to end in the words, I mean, I'm reminded of the words of Sudha Murthy, who says, empowerment of women leads to development of a good family, good society, and ultimately a good nation. And if you follow these basic things, you'll not go wrong. And keep reading, keep learning more about personal finance. It'll definitely help you.
Wow, ma'am, we feel like that there should be a whole concept of understanding why we need to have rights to be even able to spend. Only financial independence is not the key. Even being able to decide as in how you are going to invest, what you are going to invest in, should also lie with the person who is earning that economic independence. Because many a times I personally have seen many women earning but still not given the right to decide as in how they should spend their money. So that you have absolutely rightly pointed out, because that definitely makes sense. So now I would love to move forward and ask Veena ma'am for her views. What are her views about this particular aspect? Please, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Divya. Actually, even I agree with Dr. Sandhya ma'am. Whatever she said, I believe in that. In fact, I am also doing that. Of course, not accurately, but the moment something comes in, I know in a month that amount, whatever I have planned for this month, I will push that amount. So the remaining, again, I will ensure to invest 10% on my upskilling. So anything on the learning, either a book or a new skill or a new seminar or anything, any paid seminars if required, or any other additional trainings which I need, for me to grow further. So I will ensure to keep. I keep telling all my friends and family, keep 10% on your annual salary for your upskilling. So that's very, very important, because it's like reinvestment on yourself. You have to, because change is inevitable. We have to equip for that you have to keep invest on yourself also. That is also one of the investment. I strongly feel that. And then, like, I mean, I don't have much financial thing actually, but I have the mantra is some X amount till I keep it in my account. Post that, no, I'm not very good at it, I will transfer it to my husband. He will take care of the FDs and the mutual funds and other stuff. So I'm bad in that actually, honestly. बट 10% का मेरा अपस्किलिंग का मैं रख देती हूँ, वो पक्का है, वो मेरा करना है, either a monthly, quarterly or whatever that I would have planned in a year. I know what and all am I learning, what I have to learn, new things and all. So I'll keep that and then I'll give it off. So this is I feel from my side. But otherwise, like, if you have that when you feel that you are giving money, I think definitely he'll be paying for EMIs, or he's going for the mutual funds or whatever it is, no. So he's definitely happy, right? He's very definitely happy. As Priyanka ma'am rightly said, we both are planning our family, and okay, like, not necessarily both should be good at everything. So when one is good at, let us help I mean, I'm not good at that, so I will give it to him. He will take care, and I will be happy, and I will keep myself for my hangouts, my enjoyment. As ma'am said rightly, Dr. Sandhya ma'am, from my hangouts with my ladies, my daughters. So I'll keep for that, and then I'll move on. But this is the simple mantra
Yeah.
I follow.
Another beautiful addition that yes, for upskilling also one should keep some certain amount so that we keep on learning and understanding what more is getting added to the workforce pool, what now you have to upskill yourself for, and then get equipped with the whole process. Now let's move on to Pooja ji and hear her way of thought process regarding this aspect. How do you look forward to this kind of understanding of financial independence?
I believe saving is something which is very important because no matter how much ever financially equipped you are today, you never know when you will actually need the money in the future. So I have followed a simple rule from the time I have been working. Like it was before my career break, I was working for around 4 to 5 years. So I always used to save almost 30 to 40% of my salary, and I would save it in the form of post office investments, or either I would do a liquid arbitrage fund, or it could be share market related thing, of course with the guidance and advice from someone who is very trustworthy. So but I would make it a point to save a certain portion of my money, almost like 30 to 40% if it's possible for me to do that, because it's very important. And when you have that kind of saving, and when you are not working, like when I went on my career break, that money was very useful to me because I had that balance with me which could take care of a lot of things when I was not working. And as Veena ma'am said, upskilling yourself is very important. And actually, that money which I saved helped me to upskill myself when I wanted to join the workforce again. So when I wanted to join the workforce again, I had my own set of doubts. Will I be able to do it? Am I upskilled enough? So yes, of course, the answer was no, because I had a break of 5 years. And that is the reason when I used my saved money to upskill myself, I didn't have to ask anybody for money because I had that bandwidth of the money. I also give the same advice to my daughter to save this. And as I just said, that a child always reflects her mother. So the way I give my thoughts to her, she always looks up to me, and she goes to a pathshala. So wherein they are just given small gifts. Sometimes they are given money as a giveaway, and she literally saves it in her piggy bank. So the way women do things at home, it's actually reflected in their children. And because she has always seen how I save money, see, she also actually takes it up and she saves it, and then she shows to me, see mama, I have saved this money what I had received, I did not use it in any way. So it's very important. Maybe it could be arbitrage fund, it could be post office investments, it can be FDs, it can be child related saving of funds. So as you say, like a husband and wife, they share everything. So since the time I've started working, it's really helpful for my husband also, because I can take care of my investments for my own daughter. I can at least contribute that much. So that gives you that extra flexibility to pitch in wherever required. And of course, it's also it's very important to secure your old age funds as well. You can have a certain amount of money saved for your old age, so that you always have that fund, and you don't have to worry about after a certain age if you leave your work. So yeah, and also I make it a point to give it back to the society. So on my birthday or any special event which I have in my life, of course I do my celebrations, but then I keep a certain portion of amount so that I can give it to an orphanage or to a daycare center, wherein this money can be used effectively, and it will help the orphans also, and sometimes blind children. So wherever I can pitch in socially, I try to do that as well. Yeah. So
Wow. all the beautiful and positive thoughts flowing around our Women's Day celebration today. Now we move ahead to Priyanka Karwa ma'am to let her story being shared about how she sees the way women get empowered by economic independence. How does she see that society will become more equal and equitable?
So I would like to add few points here. Like everyone has shared about investments, mutual funds, SIP, everything like term insurance, mediclaim. Like all of them have said rightly what is required. With that, I would like to add one funny incident. And what I believe that every female should think in that direction. I don't know I'm right or wrong, but yes, what I have actually thought. A lot of females, those who are not even working, they do a lot of kitty parties, right? uh, like they go, they enjoy, they every 2 years they'll get that bulk money, then they'll buy something out of it. So I was asked one day to join the kitty party of our apartment. I denied to that, and I was like literally seen like that this female never comes anywhere. And now when we are asking her to come just once a month, she is not even like क्या करेगी पैसे का 2,000 रुपए नहीं दे सकती, मतलब क्या पूरा बैंक में डालेगी. I had to answer one person that day that you go, you enjoy quarterly once or monthly once, go chill out, hang out, whatever you want to do. But the money which you are putting over here in this kitty party, rather than putting it here, if you would have put in mutual fund just every month, what you're doing, after 2 years, what you're getting, that could have added at least 20% value. Okay, so it is not stopping you to enjoy, but it is adding something to your money, which would be your own earning that time, which you have taken from your family. But at the end of the day, that 20% which you got on maybe that what I would say around 50,000 it takes you, then you get 50,000 after 2 years. If you invest thoughtfully, you will get that 60,000 and you still enjoy it sometime. It is not that. Similarly, I tell youngsters nowadays, like I have a big team, mostly everyone is youngsters. Every Sunday, I want them to spend 1 hour on their investment planning. I share a lot of time, few things, and I strongly believe what I have done. I have opened, I think a lot of people have also started, and when they share their stories, ma'am, 6 months mein itna ho gaya, utna ho gaya, I feel so happy that at least I'm able to change few things. Apart from that, every female, those who are listening today, I would like to share one important thing which will be very important for your kids. Okay, we bring a lot of gifts, a lot of birthdays we celebrate, right? But for your core family, like your daughters, your sister-in-laws or your brothers, what we do, we give them a gift, we send them a cake, we do all that stuff. Rather than that, in a year, if from that gift, if you can just buy maybe 2 shares of a good company for them, just imagine after 20 years that wealth which it will be created for them, that will be so valuable. Just like give them the gift. It's not, I'm not denying to that, but spend something on that 1 share. Maybe on a birthday you can't do much. 1 share of a very good company, make it 1,000, 2,000, whatever. Invest, buy that share by the name of that kid. Just imagine after 20 years what will happen. We know India is rising to a trillion economy. I don't know like how the reports are coming. It's like phenomenal that in next 30 years where India will be. And the same thought I feel that every month, if I can't do much, but I can buy 1 share for my daughter, maybe for 500 for each of them, I know after 20 years what that will be. And that is what the actual independence which they will have after 20 years, which I think which we generally never think of. I don't know, but that's my thought about economic independence, taking from my side to towards the next generation, how they can be economically independent.
Absolutely overflow of ideas and thoughts and suggestions. It's up it's a mind-boggling event we had today. We have had so many suggestions, so many ideas. I think if we even collate this, we will end up having a very good economic independence. We'll have inclusivity. We'll have our own thought process and our own rights in our own homes to decide our own future. That is something which we needed today to be done, and that is why we at Skill Arbitrage designed and planned this particular event on International Women's Day. Thank you so much to all our esteemed guests to be here to enlighten us with amazing thoughts and your own challenges and how you overcame that and how you planned your future and your daughter's futures and your family's future. Thank you once again from bottom of my heart, and thanks from Skill Arbitrage as well for making our day and for sharing it with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Miss Divya, we haven't heard your story at all.
Ma'am, today it was not about my story, but yeah,
It's
I
a
come
very
from a
story.
family. Actually, I have only heard these stories from others. My story is a little different. That's why I was not sharing. I
Please
come
go
from a
ahead and
family
share
where
your story also.
I come from a family which has all the women working. So I never had seen this particular scenario where women were not working or women were not allowed to decide their own independence and decide how they spend the money. So my mom was a psychology professor. She retired recently. She was there for 43 years. Before her, my grandmom, both of the sides, my father side, mother side, and my mother-in-law is also very, very strong woman. She takes care of all our business around. So I never saw. So when I started getting into this field, I realized, okay, this is my bubble. It was created by my parents and family. Now I'm seeing the real world. So when I entered my engineering field, I realized that okay, there are different variety of cultures, different people who are coming from different backgrounds. That's when I got very much attached to the subject of gender studies, women rights, and a variety of things. And that's when I started learning more and more about how women are struggling, and that is something which I keep on doing even around me, around the world. That is what I talk about. I feel that unless you are empowered, you cannot make your children empowered, you cannot make your family empowered. And somehow whomsoever I meet, I try and tell them that please at least do whatever little you can with education or skill development. Keep on doing it, because it will give a view to your children, daughter or son. They will understand, okay, my mother is contributing. She's contributing not only through family economy, but she's also contributing to the national economy. So we have to understand that aspect. Nobody is saying that being a homemaker is a bad thing, but the thing is, when you are a homemaker, you also are not economically independent. You are being dependent on the family. So somehow you'll have to come out of that particular scenario. So when someone asks me, I'm like, I cannot relate to that situation, but I understand it from people from whom I've heard stories. Like I have met such senior professionals here. I have met Priyanka, and I have learned so much from her. I really would never have thought that this also can be a world where women are not allowed to decide something, and suddenly they got that expansion. So ma'am, that was my story, but by profession I am an engineer, lawyer, and a MBA grad, and I enjoy giving a lot of this kind of thought provoking queries and questions, because I love to make it reach to masses so that people understand why their daughters, why their mothers, why their family members, all women and men, should work. Be it from home, work from home, but work, because once you have that money in your hand, you will be free. You will be free to buy books, you'll be free to travel, you'll be free to learn as much as possible. Like Dr. Sandhya ma'am said that I love to read, I love to buy books, and that's something I also love. So yeah, reading also brings in a lot of difference. So I remember that Malala's thing, and then I remember so many things. I keep on reading. Like recently, Millie was also reading. If I remember correctly, she was reading Becoming. So I keep on telling her, please read. So Millie, if you would love to share a bit of your wisdom nuggets as well, since we are discussing this, please come forward and talk about yourself.
To talk about the book that I'm reading. That's what you're saying.
Whatever is your thought about this program today.
This program, I just loved listening to all of you, like your stories. And yes, so the one thing that I loved the most, borrow, steal, or do whatever, but just invest. So I'm going to implement this thing. So thank you so much, Sandhya ma'am, for this advice. I am really going to follow this one. So, and rest, all of you were amazing.
Thank you so much. Devyanshi, why
I don't
aren't you
literally
there?
mean
You
you
also
steal.
share your story.
Millie,
Come
Millie,
forward.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't mean that you literally steal. But the point you understand, beg, borrow, steal, you have to do it means you have to do it.
Yes.
I loved Priyanka, the one what she said actually, gifting. That share car gifting idea was amazing actually. So I seriously follow that, Priyanka. I seriously. Thank you so much. That's an amazing idea.
So let's go to Devyanshi also. Why not hear her story? She is youngest of all and she should also share her share. Please,
I
Devyanshi, tell
think
us where
uh,
you are.
I think I don't have a story of myself to share yet. As of now, I've just started now. But I think the highlight of the event was that you should start investing. So probably I'm going to start investing. So yeah, thank you everybody.
Awesome. So thank you. I also got the
You all
opportunity
have
to share
such a
my
way with
story.
words. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Devyanshi. Thank you so much for coordinating this amazing event. And thank you all for being here on When We Call You Agreed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Sandhya ma'am.
Thanks for
Once again.
having us. Yeah,
Much.
happy
Thank
birthday, ma'am.